Imagine this: you're lying awake at 2 a.m., your mind racing with 1,000 thoughts about tomorrow, next week, and the future. You're gripped by a sense of uncertainty, paralyzed by the what-ifs that swirl endlessly in your mind. And here's the truth that no one wants to hear: that fear, that worry, it's a trap. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Think about it. When you worry, you're living in a future that doesn't exist. You're giving away your peace for free, imagining disasters that never happen. But here's the catch: the act of letting go, of releasing control and surrendering to life as it is the very thing that gives you peace. That's the magic of Stoicism. It's not about not caring, it's about choosing to focus on what you can control, the present moment, and freeing yourself from the anxiety of things beyond your reach. If you're ready to start that journey of growth and self-discovery, consider subscribing. It's about committing to a better version of yourself, one thought at a time. Welcome to the journey. 1. Your mind isn't a fortune teller. Have you ever been overwhelmed by a wave of anxiety, convinced that something terrible is going to happen? It's that feeling of your mind running away with you, imagining worst-case scenarios, playing out disasters in vivid detail. The worst part: your mind can make these thoughts feel so real, so undeniable, that you start to believe them. But here's the catch: your mind is terrible at predicting the future. It can spin stories, but it doesn't have the ability to forecast what's really going to happen. The more you focus on those anxious thoughts, the bigger and more real they seem to get. You start thinking that if you think about the problem enough, you can prepare for it. But in truth, you're only exhausting yourself. Your thoughts are not the reality, and they certainly don't control what will happen. You are not your thoughts. The Stoics understood this concept perfectly. They recognized that thoughts are not facts. They're fleeting impressions, mental noise that we often mistake for truth. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the core of Stoic practice, understanding that your mind doesn't control reality, and you don't have to accept every thought as truth. You don't have to live according to your fears. So the next time you find yourself spiraling, take a step back and realize that this thought is just that: a thought, not a prophecy. It's your mind's attempt to predict something that has no evidence, no foundation. By treating it as a mere suggestion, you gain power over it. You don't need to follow every thought down a path of worry and doubt. Think about the times you've worried about something that never happened, or worse, something that happened, but didn't feel nearly as catastrophic as you had imagined. You've already made it through every challenge you thought was impossible. Remember those times when you were sure you couldn't handle something? You're still here, aren't you? You faced those struggles, even if you thought you wouldn't, and came out stronger for it. So why is it that we still let our minds convince us that we can't handle the next challenge? The reality is, you are stronger than your thoughts. Every single time your mind tells you that you're not enough or that you can't face something, remember this: you've already faced everything that came your way, and you'll handle whatever's next too. So, when you find yourself in that anxious state, questioning whether you're strong enough to face what's ahead, take a deep breath and remember: you've already survived 100% of your toughest days. Worry doesn't make you stronger, it just exhausts you. And the more you buy into the stories your mind creates, the harder it becomes to see things clearly. But when you stop feeding into that fear, you open the door to real strength. You don't need to predict the future, you just need to trust in your ability to handle it when it comes. When you stop treating your thoughts as truth, you take back control. You are not weak because you have doubts. You are strong because you keep moving forward despite them. By shifting your mindset from one of fear to one of strength, You free yourself from the burden of unnecessary worry. You stop letting your thoughts dictate your actions and start choosing your responses. It's in this choice that you realize the truth. You are more than capable of facing whatever comes your way. Every thought of doubt is just a passing storm, and you have the strength to weather it. When you stop listening to your anxious thoughts as if they are set in stone, you'll find a sense of peace and clarity that makes every challenge easier to face. You've already made it through every difficult moment in your life, and you'll continue to do so. So, when the next wave of doubt comes, remember, your thoughts are not your reality. You are capable of more than you can even imagine. 2. Worry is just a habit. You wake up in the morning, and before you even get out of bed, your mind is already racing. Thoughts of everything that could go wrong, everything you have to do, and everything that's beyond your control flood your mind. You try to push them aside, but they keep coming back, tugging at your thoughts. We all have that one thing we keep worrying about, whether it's our work, our relationships, our health, or the future. It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the kicker. Worry is just a habit. It's not some uncontrollable force that's out of your hands. It's something you've learned, just like any other habit. You didn't come out of the womb stressing about every little thing. It started as a small thought, maybe something that made sense at the time, and over time it grew, took root, and became an automatic response. But the good news is, just like any other habit, it can be unlearned. Think about it. Every time you catch yourself spiraling into worry, you have a choice. You don't have to follow the well-worn path your brain has created. Instead of allowing worry to take over, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what's the next right step? Don't let your mind drag you down the rabbit hole of uncertainty. This simple question can break the cycle. You don't have to change everything at once. Just focus on the next step. One thing you can do to move forward, no matter how small. This shift in focus allows you to regain control and break free from the mental loop of anxiety. It's all about creating a new path for your brain, one where peace becomes the default, not worry. When you begin to reframe your mindset, something incredible happens. You start to realize that worry is not only unnecessary, but also counterproductive. It's like trying to fight an invisible battle. You might feel like you're doing something to prepare yourself for potential danger, but in reality, you're just using up energy on a fight that isn't happening. It's the equivalent of imagining a storm on a calm day, stressing about something that may never even come to pass. Your mind, just like any other tool, needs training. The more you choose to focus on what you can control, on the present moment, and on actionable steps, the easier it becomes to rewire your brain toward peace. The truth is, worrying doesn't protect you. It doesn't prepare you for life's challenges. What it does is keep you stuck in a loop, preventing you from seeing the opportunities right in front of you. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, shift your attention to what's right. There's always something you can do, even if it's just taking one small step forward. That one step is powerful. It's a choice to act, to not let your mind control you, and to focus on what's within your power. The more you make this choice, the more you'll start to see how much peace you've been missing out on. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about realizing that your worry doesn't change the outcome. What changes the outcome is how you react. If you meet life's challenges with a mindset of action rather than anxiety, you'll be surprised at how much more capable you feel. Instead of seeing a mountain, you'll start seeing the path ahead, one step at a time. And as you take that first step, you'll realize something amazing. Worry doesn't make you stronger. Taking action does. The key is to stop reinforcing the habit of worry. Don't let it be the first place your mind goes when things feel uncertain. Instead, create a new habit. Pause, breathe. Ask yourself what you can do next. It doesn't need to be a grand gesture. Sometimes the next right step is simply to take a deep breath and focus on the present moment. That's how you start to break free from the habit of worry. You give yourself permission to step off the hamster wheel and take control of your thoughts, one step at a time. And as you do, you'll notice something incredible. You're not only reprogramming your mind, you're also reclaiming your peace. Change doesn't happen overnight, but every small shift you make toward peace over worry is a victory. And with each victory, you'll find yourself less overwhelmed by life's uncertainties. Instead of reacting with fear, you'll be responding with clarity. Instead of worry, you'll find a calm strength that allows you to move forward, no matter what comes your way. This is the power of unlearning worry. This is the power of choosing peace, not as a destination, but as a way of being. And trust me, once you make that choice, you'll wonder why you ever let worry control you in the first place. 3. Your thoughts aren't facts. You know that feeling when your mind gets caught in an endless loop of worry, convincing you that something bad is about to happen. Your thoughts start screaming, "This is it. This is going to go wrong." And before you know it, you're spiraling, completely convinced that what you're imagining is real. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your thoughts aren't facts. They may feel like they're pulling you into some unavoidable disaster, but the reality is they're just stories your mind is telling you. And here's the kicker. You're the one writing those stories. The mind is a powerful thing, but it's also easily deceived by its own fears. Just because a thought pops into your head doesn't mean it's true, no matter how real it feels in the moment. Worry, at its core, is just a mental story we keep telling ourselves, and if we're not careful, we start believing it. But the Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that our thoughts don't define our reality. What truly matters is how we respond to them. The more you practice this, the more you'll start to see the difference between what's real and what's simply a fear-based projection of your mind. It's not always easy, and it won't happen overnight. But with time, you'll begin to notice that many of your worries were never grounded in reality. You might have spent hours worrying about a conversation, a meeting, or a decision that, in hindsight, turned out to be far less significant than you imagined. That's because worry often amplifies what isn't even there. It takes small, manageable problems and turns them into giants, simply by letting them swirl around in your mind unchecked. But when you learn to step outside of your thoughts, to pause and reflect, you start seeing things for what they truly are. For example, think about the last time you were really anxious. Maybe you were dreading a job interview or waiting for an important phone call. In your mind, the scenario felt overwhelming. But once the moment passed, how often did you realize that the outcome wasn't as bad as you imagined, or that you handled it much better than you thought you would? This is a reminder that our thoughts are often much worse than reality. They exaggerate, catastrophize, and distort the truth. But when you choose not to buy into them, when you decide not to give them the power to control you, everything starts to shift. You begin to see your thoughts for what they truly are, temporary and changeable, not permanent truths that define your life. Learning to separate fact from fiction in your thoughts isn't just a nice idea, it's a game changer. When you start seeing your thoughts as just that, thoughts, and not absolute truths, you stop giving them the power to dictate your emotions and actions. Instead of letting your mind drag you into an imaginary future, you pull yourself back into the present. You start making decisions based on what's actually happening, not on what you fear might happen. And as you do this more and more, you begin to take control of your narrative. You stop being a passive passenger in your own mind and start being the one who drives the car. It's important to remember that the mind's job isn't necessarily to protect you. It's to be constantly alert, constantly scanning for threats, sometimes even when there is no real threat. This is a survival mechanism that served us well in a world full of predators. But in today's world, it often serves to amplify trivial worries into life-altering events. This is where the power of Stoic philosophy can help. The Stoics weren't naive to the struggles of life. They knew there would be challenges, pain, and disappointment. But what they understood that we often forget is that we can choose how we respond to those things. And the way we respond starts with how we view our thoughts. When you realize that your thoughts are not your reality, you free yourself from the prison of constant anxiety. This doesn't mean that challenges won't come. Life will still throw curveballs. But when you face them, you'll face them with clarity and a calm mind, instead of drowning in the stories your mind creates. The more you practice separating your thoughts from your reality, the more you'll find that your worries lose their grip on you. You'll stop wasting energy on imaginary scenarios and start using that energy to handle the real challenges that come your way. And trust me, you'll be amazed at how much more peaceful and grounded you feel when you stop believing every thought your mind throws at you. You have the power to choose which thoughts you hold on to and which ones you let go. And with each choice, you take one step closer to a life that's not ruled by worry, but guided by wisdom. 4. You can't control everything, and that's okay. Life has a funny way of reminding us that we can't control everything. We spend so much time and energy trying to make everything fit into place, trying to control every outcome and managing every detail to perfection. It's exhausting, isn't it? You put in the work, make the plans, and still, things don't always go the way you want. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. That's the reality of life. No matter how hard we try, there are forces beyond our control, and the more we try to manipulate every aspect, the more we set ourselves up for frustration and disappointment. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They knew that the true path to peace wasn't found in trying to control everything around us, but in releasing that control. Peace comes when we accept the things we cannot change and focus on the things we can. Think about it for a moment. How often do we try to control situations that are completely out of our hands? Maybe it's a job interview, the outcome of a conversation, or even the way someone perceives us. We try to predict every possible outcome, but life doesn't work that way. It's unpredictable, and no matter how much effort we put into controlling every detail, there will always be things that happen that we didn't see coming. In those moments, trying to force things into place only leads to stress and burnout. The more we try to control the outcome, the less we're actually enjoying the process. The key isn't in controlling every outcome, but in learning to let go and trust the process. It's a difficult lesson to learn because we're conditioned to think that control equals success. We're told to take charge of our lives, to plan every move, and to push forward relentlessly. But here's the truth. When you stop forcing things to happen, life has a way of surprising you. Opportunities show up when you least expect them. The job you thought you had to fight for comes to you effortlessly. The relationships that once felt out of reach start to unfold naturally. Why? Because when you stop controlling everything, you make space for life to work in its own way. When you let go, you create room for things to align without the pressure of forcing them to fit into your vision. Think about a time when you were so focused on making something happen that you couldn't enjoy the journey. Maybe you were chasing after a dream, a goal, or a relationship, and all your energy was spent trying to push it into existence. But once you stopped chasing it so hard, once you relaxed and allowed things to unfold naturally, everything seemed to fall into place. That's the magic of releasing control. The moment you stop gripping so tightly, things start to move with ease. Not because you stopped caring, but because you trusted the process and allowed life to unfold on its own terms. There's a beautiful freedom in letting go of control. When you stop trying to micromanage every aspect of your life, you give yourself the space to experience it fully. You allow things to flow without the weight of expectation. It's not about giving up on your dreams or goals. It's about trusting that what's meant for you will find you, even if it doesn't look exactly how you planned. The more you try to force an outcome, the more resistance you create. But when you trust that life will unfold as it's meant to, you stop fighting against it and start moving with it. One of the most liberating feelings is when you realize that you don't have to control everything to succeed. You can make the effort, do the work, and put in the hours. But when you stop worrying about the outcome, you allow yourself to truly experience the journey. The beauty of life lies in the unexpected turns, the surprises, and the lessons you learn along the way. When you release your need to control every step, you stop robbing yourself of the joy that comes from just being present. You let go of the burden of certainty and start embracing the freedom of possibility. The best part? When you stop chasing after things so desperately, you begin to attract them effortlessly. The very things you've been working so hard to control start coming to you naturally. Relationships deepen, opportunities knock, and solutions appear when you least expect them. It's the paradox of life. When you stop forcing, things start flowing. By letting go of the need to control the outcome, you start creating the space for the life you want to come to you. It's a lesson in patience, in trust, and in surrender. But it's also one of the most powerful shifts you can make. You don't have to control everything. In fact, the more you try, the more you're pushing against the very flow of life that's trying to help you. So, take a deep breath, let go of the reins for a moment, and trust that life will unfold exactly as it's meant to. You'll find that the more you let go, the more you'll see things falling into place. Not because you've controlled them, but because you've allowed them to happen. And in that space of surrender, peace will find you. 5. Problems solve themselves when you stop feeding them. Have you ever found yourself completely consumed by a problem, thinking about it non-stop, replaying every possible scenario, imagining every worst-case outcome? The more you focus on it, the bigger it seems to get, until it feels like you can't think about anything else. The problem becomes this massive weight that drags you down, stealing your peace and energy. But here's something you might not have realized. Most problems are temporary. They don't need to be as big as we make them. The more you obsess over something, the more power you give it. By constantly feeding the problem with your attention and energy, you're actually inflating it, giving it more control over your life. But what happens when you stop feeding the problem? You might be surprised. Sometimes the solution appears on its own. This isn't to say that problems don't deserve your attention. Of course, there are times when you need to address things directly. But the key is in how you approach them. When you obsess over a problem, you're not solving it. You're reinforcing its hold on you. You're giving it space in your mind that could be better used elsewhere. Instead of getting lost in worry and overthinking, acknowledge the problem, then move on. It's about not letting the problem define your day, your mood, or your actions. It's about realizing that sometimes, by stepping away from it and focusing on the present, you allow space for the solution to emerge naturally. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." This rings true when we're talking about problems. The more you resist them, the more they cling to your mind, multiplying in intensity. But when you stop resisting, when you stop feeding that constant loop of anxiety and worry, you create the space for things to resolve themselves. By not obsessing over every little detail, you're able to step back and see the situation with fresh eyes. You might find that the solution was right in front of you the whole time, but you couldn't see it through the fog of constant rumination. Think of it this way. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle by staring at one piece for hours, trying to force it into place. The more you focus on it, the more frustrated you get. But if you take a step back, look at the bigger picture and stop fixating on one single part, you'll likely see where that piece fits. Problems are a lot like that. Sometimes the best thing you can do is stop forcing solutions and let things unfold naturally. Life has a way of resolving itself when we give it the space to do so. By not feeding the problem, you stop giving it the power to control you. It's easy to get trapped in the mindset that every problem requires urgent action, that if you don't focus on it every minute, it will spiral out of control. But often the opposite is true. Problems need your attention, but they don't need your obsession. When you stop obsessing, you stop magnifying the issue. It's like walking away from a fire instead of throwing more wood on it. By choosing to focus on the present instead of the problem, you can stop feeding the anxiety that comes with it. This shift in focus helps you clear your mind and see what needs to be done from a place of calm instead of panic. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to recognize when you're spiraling. You'll start to notice when you're giving too much power to a problem that doesn't need that much of your attention. Once you catch yourself in that cycle, you can choose to step away and focus on what's in front of you right now. By doing so, you'll begin to realize how many problems, large and small, eventually resolve themselves when you stop obsessing over them. You'll find that the more you step back, the more clarity you gain, and the more you start to see solutions you couldn't see before. This doesn't mean you should avoid addressing problems. It's not about burying your head in the sand. It's about not letting the problem consume you. Acknowledge it, then let it go for a while. When you step back, you give yourself the mental space to be creative, to approach the problem from a different angle, and to take more thoughtful, less reactive actions. You might find that the solution comes to you more naturally when you're not stressed, overwhelmed, or consumed by worry. Over time, as you practice letting go of the need to control every problem, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll begin to approach challenges with a sense of ease, knowing that by focusing on the present moment and not feeding into the anxiety, the problem will resolve itself in time. You'll stop being ruled by fear of what might happen and start responding to the situation at hand with a clearer mind. The key is to trust that the solution will come when you stop forcing it. And remember, every time you let go of worry and take a more measured, present-minded approach, you're training your brain to respond differently. You're teaching yourself that peace is found not in the constant struggle, but in the space between action and acceptance. You'll be amazed at how much power you truly have when you stop feeding problems with unnecessary worry. Life has a way of working things out when we give it the space to do so, and the less you fight it, the more you'll see things fall into place. It's a practice, and the more you do it, the more you'll see just how much peace comes from letting go. 6. The universe doesn't work against you. Have you ever been in the middle of a difficult situation and wondered, why is this happening to me? Maybe you've faced rejection, a setback, or an unexpected challenge, and it feels like life is just throwing curveballs at you. It's natural to feel frustrated, even defeated. But what if, just what if, everything you're going through right now is actually happening for you? It might sound a little crazy, right? But think about it for a second. Every setback, every struggle might just be pushing you towards something better, something you couldn't see yet. The The Stoics had a name for this: logos, the rational order of the universe. They believed that life, in all its chaos, has an underlying order, and if we could step back and trust that order, we would see that even the hardest moments are part of something larger. It's easy to look at life's challenges as punishments, especially when they hit hard and fast. You feel like you're being singled out, like the universe is against you. But here's where the shift happens. What if those challenges weren't punishments at all, but opportunities in disguise? What if the very thing you're fighting against is the thing that's going to lead you to where you need to go? The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship. In fact, they embraced it. They understood that life's struggles often provide the lessons we need, even when we can't see them in the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't just about accepting hardship. It's about recognizing that every obstacle is a stepping stone. Each challenge is shaping you, strengthening you, and guiding you toward your true path. When you stop viewing life's curveballs as personal attacks, you begin to see them differently. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you become a participant in a larger process. Life isn't out to get you. It's out to teach you. Think about it. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to throw your hands up in frustration and think the universe is conspiring against you. But what if you stopped for a moment and considered that what's happening might be part of your growth? What if this setback is just the universe making space for something better? It's in these moments of difficulty that we often learn the most about ourselves. We find out what we're truly capable of, what we value, and what we need to let go of. In those tough times, trust that things are unfolding as they should, even if it doesn't make sense right now. The universe isn't your enemy. It's a vast system of interwoven events, and sometimes things fall apart so that something new can take shape. You've probably heard the phrase, "things happen for a reason." While it can sometimes sound cliché, the more you trust in the process, the more you realize there's truth to it. Every rejection, every mistake, every moment of doubt, it's all part of the puzzle. And sometimes the pieces don't fit until much later. Instead of resisting what's happening, try accepting it. Acknowledge that this moment is part of a greater story, one that's still unfolding, one that you're a part of. One of the most freeing things you can do is stop fighting against the natural flow of life. Trust that the universe is leading you exactly where you need to go, even if the path is rocky and unclear. Let go of the need to control every outcome and open yourself to the possibility that something better is on the horizon. Life has a way of surprising us, especially when we stop trying to micromanage every detail. The truth is, we can't control everything. There will always be things outside of our control. But what we can control is how we respond. And when we respond with trust, with acceptance, and with openness, we allow the universe to work in our favor. The more you trust in the process, the more you'll begin to notice how things start to align in ways you never expected. This doesn't mean that everything will be smooth sailing. Life will still challenge you, and things won't always go the way you planned. But when you change your perspective and start seeing obstacles as opportunities, you'll begin to realize that everything is working together to move you forward. Even the difficult times have value. They shape your character, they teach you resilience, and they show you how to pivot when life doesn't go as expected. When you let go of your need to control the outcome, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to force things to happen. And in that freedom, you create the space for something better to come into your life. In those moments when it feels like everything is falling apart, remember that the universe is still working for you, even if you can't see it. Trust that the bumps in the road are leading you to the place you need to be. You don't need to understand everything right now, and that's okay. Life has a way of revealing itself to us when we're ready. The more you trust in the unfolding process, the more you'll see how everything fits together in the end. The Stoics embraced the idea that life is full of twists and turns, and while we can't always predict what will happen, we can trust that it's all part of the bigger picture. The universe is not against you. It's guiding you toward what's meant for you, even when it doesn't feel that way. So the next time life throws you a curveball, instead of fighting it, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this helping me grow? Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and know that even when you can't see the way, the path is still there, waiting for you to find it. Life isn't about controlling every moment. It's about embracing the journey and trusting that it's leading you exactly where you need to go. 7. You are stronger than you think. There's a voice in your head, isn't there? The one that tells you that you can't handle it, that life is just too much to bear. It convinces you that the challenges in front of you are insurmountable, that you're not strong enough to overcome them. But here's the truth. You are stronger than you think. We all have that inner critic, the one that magnifies our doubts, that makes us question our ability to face what's coming next. But what that voice doesn't see, and what it refuses to acknowledge, is just how much strength you've already shown. Think about all the tough moments in your life, the times when you didn't know if you'd make it, when you thought you couldn't go on. Did you make it through? Of course you did. And guess what? You'll keep making it through. It's easy to underestimate yourself when you're in the thick of it. You look at the mountain in front of you and think, there's no way I can climb this. But what if you stopped for a moment and realized that every challenge you've faced up until now has proven something important? You've made it through 100% of your toughest days. Think about that. Every time life has thrown something difficult your way, you've found a way to survive it. Every heartache, every failure, every loss. You've faced it all and come out the other side. And that's not a coincidence. You are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." That's a powerful reminder that your past struggles don't define you. They don't determine your worth or your capacity to face what's next. Instead, what matters is how you choose to respond to the challenges in front of you. You are not bound by the difficulties you've faced, and you are certainly not limited by them. Your strength is built in how you choose to react, to keep going when things get tough, to rise when life knocks you down. And let's face it, life is going to knock you down. It's part of the deal. But it's how you get back up that matters. Every time you encounter something difficult, you have an opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong you really are. You might not feel it in the moment, but each time you face adversity, you are building resilience. The strength to keep going when you don't feel like it, to keep pushing forward when everything inside you wants to quit. That's the strength that defines you. You've already proven that you can endure, that you can handle the challenges that come your way. Every challenge is another opportunity to show yourself just how capable you are. And with each one, your inner strength grows. It's not something you have to search for. It's something you're building every day, with every step you take through the tough times. It's easy to look at the next challenge and feel overwhelmed, to doubt yourself, to think, this is too big for me. But that's not true. You've already faced bigger things than you thought you could. Think about it. What was the hardest thing you've been through? The one thing that at the time felt like it would break you, but you didn't break. You adapted. You fought through it. And now it's just another chapter in your story. That's how strong you are. The strength that you need is already inside of you. Sometimes it just takes a moment of reflection to realize it. The next time worry creeps in, telling you that you're not strong enough to handle what's coming, remind yourself of the truth. You've survived 100% of your toughest days, and you'll survive whatever comes next. You've already built the resilience you need to face what's ahead. Don't let your doubts convince you otherwise. Life might feel heavy at times, but you are capable of carrying that weight. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep going. And every step you take, no matter how small, is proof of your strength. You are not fragile, you are adaptable, you are strong, and the challenges that feel so overwhelming right now, they won't seem so big when you look back at them from the other side. It's easy to focus on what you can't control, on the obstacles, the setbacks, and the things that feel impossible. But the truth is, you have more control than you think. You can control how you respond. You can control your attitude, your mindset, your perseverance. And by focusing on what you can control, you shift the narrative. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone who can face those circumstances head-on. You don't need to be fearless to be strong. Strength is found in moving forward, even when you're afraid, even when you're uncertain. It's found in the quiet moments when you keep going, even though the odds are stacked against you. And in those moments, you prove to yourself once again that you are stronger than you think. So, the next time life throws something difficult your way, remember this. You've made it through every tough moment up until now, and you will keep making it through. Every challenge is just another opportunity for you to show the world and yourself just how strong you really are. You're not defined by your struggles. You're defined by your strength to keep moving, to keep growing, and to keep living, no matter what comes next. 8. The present moment is always enough. It's so easy to get lost in our thoughts, isn't it? The worries about the future, the what-ifs that never seem to stop swirling in our minds. We think about what might go wrong tomorrow, next week, or even years from now. But in all that noise, we often forget one simple truth. The present moment is all we have. Right now, as you're watching this, are you okay? Take a moment to really think about it. Are you safe? Are you breathing? Are you here in this moment? Most likely the answer is yes, you're okay. The problem comes when we let our thoughts drift into the future, projecting all kinds of fears and doubts, and we forget to live in the now. But the present is the only place where life actually happens. The future doesn't exist yet, and the past, well, that's gone. All we truly have is this moment, and this moment, you're safe. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you're constantly thinking about everything that's ahead of you. We all do it. We're anxious about what's coming next. We plan, we prepare, we worry about every little detail. But in doing so, we lose sight of the fact that right now, this very second, is enough. You don't need to worry about the future to be okay in the present. The stress and anxiety you're feeling don't come from what's actually happening around you, but from your thoughts about what might happen. You're projecting your fears, and in doing so, you rob yourself of the peace that's available to you right now. Come back to the present, because it's the only place where you can actually do something. The future is a mystery, and the past is behind you. But in this moment, you have everything you need to be okay. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. He reminded us that confine yourself to the present. That's the key. The future is always uncertain. We can't control what will happen tomorrow, no matter how much we plan or worry. And the past is already written, so why should we let them dominate our lives? When we focus on the present, we bring ourselves back into alignment with what we can actually control: our actions, our responses, and our peace of mind. The future will unfold in its own time, but right now, you have the ability to find peace in the moment. You can't predict the future with certainty, but you can choose to live fully in the now, to embrace what's around you, and to find peace in the simple act of being here. It's a strange thing, isn't it? We spend so much time in our heads imagining what could go wrong, planning for every possible scenario, and yet, so much of that is wasted energy. The truth is, most of what we fear will never come to pass, and even if it does, we often handle it much better than we thought we would. We're stronger than our fears, but we'll never know that if we stay lost in our worries. The present moment, on the other hand, is where you can take action, where you can find clarity. Right now, you have the power to stop living in the future, to stop imagining all the things that haven't happened, and to start focusing on what's real, what's in front of you. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging that this moment is enough, and in this moment, you are okay. When you ground yourself in the present, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel the tension in your body start to release. Your breath will deepen. The weight you've been carrying might start to lift. The present has the power to give you peace, if only you choose to be here. This doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or pretending that there aren't things to plan for in the future. But it does mean that, right now, you can choose to focus on what is happening in front of you. If you're sitting in a room, take a moment to really notice your surroundings. Look at the colors, the textures, the way the light falls. Feel the air around you. Notice the sensations in your body. You're not in the future, not in the past. You're simply here. And in that space, you're okay. There's nothing to fear right now except the thoughts that try to pull you out of this moment. We've all heard the phrase, "take it one day at a time," but how often do we really do that? It's easy to get caught up in the idea of needing to fix everything, to figure out every part of our future. But life isn't a puzzle that needs solving right now. The present moment doesn't require you to have it all figured out. It only asks that you show up, that you be present, and that you find peace in the process. That's where true strength lies, in embracing the present without letting the noise of the future or the regret of the past take over. In this moment, you don't need to be anywhere else because you're already exactly where you need to be. So, the next time you feel your mind racing with worries, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, am I okay right now? You'll likely find that in this moment, you are. Everything you need to be okay is already here, in the present. When you focus on what's right in front of you, you stop adding unnecessary stress to your life. The future will come when it comes, and the past will stay where it belongs. But right now, you are enough, and this moment is enough. Let go of the need to control everything and allow yourself to fully experience the peace of the present. This is where you find clarity, strength, and the ability to move forward, one present moment at a time. 9. What you focus on expands. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of negativity where everything seems to be going wrong? It's like your mind locks onto every problem, every setback, every little failure, and the more you focus on them, the bigger they get. The more you think about what's going wrong, the more it dominates your reality. It's as if you're feeding the negative energy and it keeps growing, feeding off your attention. But here's the secret. What you focus on expands. If you constantly dwell on the struggles and the things that are falling apart, your life will start to feel like one endless series of problems. But what if you could change that? What if you could shift your focus and start looking at the things that are actually working? Suddenly, things might not seem so bleak. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you start to notice what's right. And when you do, it's amazing how much more positive energy flows into your life. Think about it for a moment. How often do we find ourselves fixating on the worst-case scenario? It's almost like our brains are wired to zero in on the negative, scanning for what's wrong instead of what's right. But the Stoics understood that our attention shapes our reality. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This rings so true when you think about how much mental energy we spend imagining all the things that could go wrong. We blow them out of proportion, letting them take over our thoughts and actions. But what if, instead of imagining the worst, we intentionally chose to focus on the small wins, the quiet moments of peace, the opportunities that are unfolding right in front of us? When you focus on what's working, you start to see more of it. You'll begin to notice the small victories that might have gone unnoticed before. Maybe it's a compliment from a friend, a moment of clarity in a difficult situation, or a task you completed that brings you one step closer to your goal. These small things might seem insignificant, but they add up. And as you celebrate these small wins, your mind begins to shift. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You begin to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. And the more you focus on the good, the more of it you'll see. It's easy to get stuck in a negative loop, especially when life throws challenges your way. But here's where the power lies. You can choose where to direct your focus. You can decide to turn your attention toward the things that are going right. Maybe your relationships are growing stronger, you're learning new things, or you're making progress on a long-term goal. Even in difficult times, there's always something that's working. When you start shifting your focus toward these things, you break the cycle of negativity that tends to hold us back. The more you focus on what's working, the more those positive things will expand, filling up your thoughts and your life. The key to this shift is recognizing when you're spiraling into negative thinking. It's easy to get caught up in it, especially when life feels overwhelming. But when you catch yourself, ask, what's working right now? It might not be the big picture you envisioned, but there are always things that are moving in the right direction, even if they're small. Maybe you got through a tough day, or maybe you found a way to cope with a stressful situation. Celebrate those moments. Each small victory is a step forward, and the more you acknowledge them, the more your mind starts to focus on the good rather than getting stuck in the negative. Think about a time when you were struggling, but then you decided to shift your focus. Maybe you stopped obsessing over a problem and instead you gave yourself credit for the progress you made. The moment you made that shift, things probably started to feel a little lighter. This isn't just about positive thinking or ignoring the tough stuff. It's about recognizing that your focus shapes your experience. When you focus on the things you're grateful for, the progress you've made, and the moments of joy, you start to create more space for those things to grow. It's a mindset shift, but it's also a practical way to approach life. Instead of seeing life as a series of obstacles, you begin to see it as a journey with ups and downs, but always with the potential for growth. Life isn't always going to go the way you want. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, but that doesn't mean you have to let those things consume your thoughts. You have the power to decide where to place your attention. Instead of constantly fixating on the problems, choose to notice the things that are going right. Celebrate the small wins, and soon they'll start to multiply. The more you focus on the good, the more good you'll see. It's a cycle of positivity that grows stronger the more you feed it. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into worry or focusing too much on what's going wrong, stop. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's working right now? Shift your focus. Celebrate the small victories. Focus on your strengths. The more you do this, the more you'll start to see a shift in your life. The universe has a way of reflecting back what we give our attention to. And when you give your attention to what's working, you'll find that the world starts to work with you. The good expands, the opportunities multiply, and the challenges become a little bit easier to handle. Focus on the good and watch it grow.